Are they allowed to drink alcohol?
Yes, they are. It depends when. So in a Grand Tour, they have had alcohol before. If we win, we definitely have some. They'll have a glass of Prosecco. Not every rider, though. Some riders decide not to partake. But normally they will have maybe a small glass of Prosecco or something like this.
And what's that going to do to them?
No, one glass will do nothing. But I think as you start to take more glasses, then you start to impair recovery, sleep gets impaired. And obviously during a race like that, you need everything you can.
Can I ask a personal question?
Sure.
So most people by now know I like a glass of red wine.
Yeah.
And I maybe have like a bottle of wine a week. So I have like a bottle of wine over like a couple of days on like Friday,
don't lie.
Saturday.
I've seen you the last couple of days.
Yeah, but it's because you're here. You're,
right,
you're
okay,
the
yeah,
instigator.
yeah. Sure,
You're the problem.
Sure.
So say, for example, I'm doing some training. I'm trying to get myself a bit fitter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I do a session. And then a couple of hours later, I'm like, I'm going to have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that would go, don't have the glass of wine because it's going to ruin all of the benefits that you've gained from that session.
You have lost all your gains.
Is that true or is that not true?
No, it's not true.
Oh, excellent.
No, that's every day now, yeah.
That is probably the most important thing that everyone wants to know from this podcast.
One glass of anything is not going to change the outcome of that ride.
Oh, wait. Okay, so what if it's maybe 3?
But that's where it starts to... So as we increase alcohol consumption, we do a few different things. We will reduce your ability to stimulate a process called muscle protein synthesis, which is the recovery process of the muscles that you've done. So you've damaged muscles in the ride. As we increase alcohol, we will reduce that effect. Mm-hmm. So you may not recover as well. It will impact sleep, which will also then impair your ability to recover. It will increase your appetite. So any potential rate like diet or something that you're doing, you may be less likely to stick to.
Yep.
And it also impaired decision making that goes with that. So not only are you feeling more hungry, you're more likely then not to stick to it just because you're like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So there are a few factors there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's cleared it up wonderfully. I can stick to having a glass of wine or two without it causing any issue.
Exactly.
You just said about sleep there, and it made me think about caffeine as well. Are you using caffeine during races, rides, and then how are you managing that in terms of not impacting sleep?
Yes, we do use caffeine. We do have caffeine gels. We have caffeine tablets and chewing gum.
Chewing gum,
yes. There's some really great research on caffeine chewing gum, and we tend to use that a lot around TTs. And that's because the absorption of the caffeine from chewing gum format absorbs quicker. It peaks in like 15 minutes or so in the blood, whereas if you take a tablet or coffee, it will take around an hour to peak. So you've got a longer wait time till it's at that peak point. And also with chewing gum, it exits the system quicker than a tablet or coffee will. Wow. So it's definitely a better choice, I think, for a caffeine option. Not unless you're doing a really long event, though.
Again, the caveat for that is professional cyclists, not normal people. Please, people, don't go out and buy yourself caffeine chewing gum. You don't need it. Just have a coffee before you go out.
Exactly.
On the topic of chewing gum, though, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but it's relevant. We had an email from a man called Jonathan who lives in Perth, Australia, and he is a retired dentist. And he basically said that in a lot of our videos, we're talking about, service station cuisine, lots of sugary stuff. And he wanted to make a point on our oral health that if you're eating lots of sweet stuff, especially when you're dehydrated, you've got a reduced saliva.
Yeah.
And therefore the sugar sticks around on your teeth and it can cause damage to your teeth. So rinse with water and or use chewing gum, and it can help produce saliva, which will get rid of the stickiness and avoid the stickiest sweets if you can.
Interesting. I was going to mention about like dental health when we were talking about the different choices of carbohydrates and, is sugar fine? Because the maltodextrins and the commercial products will still do the same things to your teeth as just doing sugar as well. Yeah. So like, it doesn't matter what choice you make in that realm, that it will still all affect your teeth. So follow that advice.
Yeah. So a clean bidon of water and swill it around and wash it down is gonna protect your teeth, apparently.
Or perhaps brush your teeth when you get home.
Yeah, perhaps. But if you're out on a long day, then it's potentially a long time where it's being sat on.
Take that toothbrush with you.